In ancient times, you will go back and you may actually see records of some of my early forges. I actually did have volcanic forges. I had forge buildings where they would use wood and stuff and actually forge metal using volcanoes. I had the only um, actual lava foundry ever, I think. It is incredibly dangerous. And I had one. Just one. Or they kept on getting destroyed like every three years or so. The lava would eventually consume them. But pylons were made, and they actually got near because it was the only way to really test out material. Is the best way because a lot of things we couldn't really get that hot, or at least we wanted to compare one foundry to another foundry. So we actually went through great expense and actually built pylons all the way up to a volcano, and actually were able to dip a vase or vase or what's it called, a thing, into a volcano, into lava. It was one of those like epic can we do it kind of things. And yeah, we did it. It was expensive and very dangerous and required a lot of carefulness. I needed like two countries at least to do it. And it was not easy, and great big pylons. There's actually film of all of it. But we did actually get a foundry or a vase dropped into lava. They usually melted or got all gooed up. But we did it a couple times, messed around with it. It's more of a novelty than anything else. But I can say that I actually melted matter using rock. It was incredibly expensive and crazy, just absolutely crazy. I think probably it was somewhere around Pompeii, and it was probably taken out with the explosion or the eruption. And it was one of those old things. You can probably see some record of it somewhere. It'd probably be about 1,000 years ago, maybe. I don't know. It was a while ago, but they used wooden pylons at first, but the wood burned and stuff. And they tried cooling the wood. It didn't really work that well. It kind of worked. Then we tried blocks going up to the volcano, and that worked better. It was one of those like monumental, can we do it kind of things. Humanity's fight against the lava. But we did it. I can tell you we did it. And we took a vase, dropped it in the lava, and pulled it back out and chipped off the material. And we got a sample from inside the caldera, or at the very. It's the same stuff as what pours out over there. So same stuff, but anyway though. But it was one of those like ridiculous projects. I should have never done it. It was stupid, I guess. Waste of money, but no one actually. I think maybe 20 people total died doing it, but not really. Mostly they were all protected. They wore protective gear. Everything was basically, they used leather. It was the greatest precaution. There was a hydro system, a water system with water pumps hooked up throughout the length of it, so they could cool. There was oxygen supply for it as well. It was a huge undertaking. It was almost as big as going to space, but we did it. We and it featured some oak logs. I think the Japanese might have taken part in it as well. But they used crews dousing the thing with water and stuff to make it not burn. It was back before we had advanced metals. I think they used stone and wood support structures, and then just cooled them to dip it into what's called to see how hot it is and stuff. And it was kind of one of those crazy, stupid things I should have never done. But we did do it, and I did do it. And it was done, and then it was abandoned because, it's stupid, and it was dangerous. And I was like, that's enough. I'm not gonna mess around with that anymore. So, anyway, and it was consumed a long time ago. It's buried somewhere out there in the lava flows. I'm sure there should be remnants somewhere. I guess I saw pictures of it and seen it being done. Anyway, I guess it's ancient history now. Anyway, kind of strange, but yeah, I had one of the only lava foundries ever, and would ever be done again. It would never be done again, of course, because you don't need to do that. You know, there's other ways of getting really hot temperatures. I forget what temperature the caldera is at, but anyway, or at least lava is at. But it's high, but it's not that high. Considering we can get much higher temperatures, you know, back at home. They're a lot easier. Anyway, though, but just another thing. I was the first, and probably it was such a waste of money. I'm just glad nobody got killed. Luckily, you know, I had a big support team. Probably like I had over 5,000 people doing it, working on it. I think the crew involved 36,000 in total, and massive steam things. And I don't know, you know, I mean, I was different back then. I was not, you know, I mean, looking back at it, I think about, oh, it was so stupid. You know, why did I ever do it? That was dumb. But I mean, it had never been done before, so, and my people seemed to want to do it. So I was like, are you sure? Okay, we'll do it then. I think I had been kind of trying to do it, kind of lightly, and I was kind of failing at it a little bit. They were just messing around with it. I just had like 1,000 people or 2,000 people just messing around. They were doing other volcanic research anyway, and so I was building a pylon out to lava, or by a lava flow. Kept getting knocked down. They would do some research, and then it would get knocked down. It was because people kept walking out on the lava and falling through. It was really soft and really dangerous. I think it was one of those lava flows where it's really thin or something. It was something dangerous. It was a certain type of lava, and it doesn't really form. There's different kind of lava flows, and some lava flows, they just form this thin crust, and you can just crush right through or something like that. It was a dangerous lava flow, and we were trying to get samples of the lava. So I said, okay, well, we'll just build a support structure. So they just took blocks and went and built this little thing out, going all the way out to it. And then they went and got the sample. We got it though. It's crazy, absolutely insane. Anyway, there was a ship with a pumping station, a steam pumping station, I think, and pipelines going on up. I think it might have even used a wood pipeline to pump the water up and through the system to the actual place where they were spraying it down and cooling it and keeping everything cool and keeping everyone. And it also featured little plugging stations so people could plug in and get air supply because the gases were particularly bad or something like that. They couldn't breathe in the thing, so they had to have little sections where they could unplug their airline and plug it back in. And featured a supplied airline. It was the best precautions ever and was very carefully done. And I was quite proud of my people. And I think 3 different groups took part in it. And it was one of those epic things where we did it. And we did it. Oh, darn. You know, I don't know. It was a waste of money when you think about it. But, you know, whatever. Yeah, I was like, waste of money, but, you know, no one had ever done it before, so, you know. It's like, well, what else haven't we done? Check. We did it. So, we're just checking off the things we have never done before. It's like, have we done this? No? Okay. Have we done this? No. Okay. Have we done this? Yeah. Okay. Have we done this? We're just checking off the easy things to do. And I would spend like, you know, a couple $100s on it. But a couple $100 back then went a long ways, or a couple $1,000s. Like $12,000. I think I spent $12,000 on it. But $12,000 back then went a long, long ways. And you know, people were fed, people had stuff. It was back in the steam days, I think, because I think it used a steam ship with a air and water drive system, 2 steam things, and one was driving water, one was driving air supply. And it was a long time ago. Very long ago. Probably about 1,000 years, I don't know. Maybe a couple 100 years. But anyway. One of those monumental points in time in history that are apparently not documented or no one knows about. But we did it.